Greetings in the love and in the light of our infinite prime creator, the divine grid programmer.
Namaste, namaskaram.
Dearest, noblest, honorable, and most esteemed viewer, I wish to relay the message that Jason Shirka posted that I saw last night regarding 14,000 lives on the line, and we can save them all. I'm going to post the link to this video so you can watch the message directly from Jason. I'll provide a brief introduction synopsis of the content and importance of the message, and in this video narrative and in the video description. I'll post the link to this video, but also in addition to this message, if Jason Shirka or anybody sees this video that knows Jason, I want to know, this has to be, but this book I found, I didn't know that he had written a book, but called Forming the Formless, Assessing and Elevating Your Spirit and Soul. Anyway, I'm pretty sure, because, that's a unique name, and I'm pretty sure Jason wrote it. I mean, I could do some due diligence and look it up, but I'm not surprised that he wrote it, because his knowledge, as Vasamazulu Baba Credo Mutwa, that's why I pronounce knowledge knowledge, because that's how Vasamazulu Baba Credo Mutwa pronounced it. But Jason, I'm not surprised. First time I encountered Jason Shirka was through an interview with George Norrie on Coast to Coast AM, and it immediately what impressed me and what grabbed my attention was that this and I saw, it wasn't only the audio, but it was like him sitting face to face with George Norrie, and the thing is that Jason looked like anybody that I would see or be. I used to work as an IT guy in the professional world, and Jason has that persona, very professional and a regular person, for the normies. Not saying that Jason is a normie, but he has that appeal where it's you can't really some weirdo, some wacko, but he's a professional. His presentation is professional. He's very mindful of the impact that he has on with the information that he disseminates. So anyway, very professional, whom I consider for the truther light movement. If I had to vote for a president, I would vote for Jason. So I consider him as a leadership entity, and his information, like I saw on George Norrie, it was just he talked about the TLS light system. He talked about the pyramid code, and it was all information that I went and looked up, and I got a PDF copy of the pyramid code and all that. And so, but anyway, this message Jason, I saw last night, presented, I wanted to pass along, because he made the request for anybody who saw this message in whatever way to pass this message along. And essentially it involves what's going on in Iran. And let me say this, my personal experiences with Iran, Persia, a lot of it, my memories when I worked in the IT industry, information technology. One of my coworkers, he was from Iran, and I knew other people too in the IT world, but one thing though I quickly picked up on, he didn't necessarily like to refer to his home country as Iran. It was Persia, and a lot of this has to do with the history of the secular government, and then the Ayatollahs, and how it changed over to like a sort of a religious entity with the Muslim Islam, kind of taking the center stage for the country, and kind of by and large, Iran, the identity, the international identity of Iran, kind of being supplanted with, like the original Shah, and a very international, very modern, sort of, but then it was kind of taken over with this religious fundamentalist fervor, and it became another kind of image in the minds of people. And I don't want to get into all that, but essentially it's a very, the history is very nuanced. There's a lot of, there's a lot of nuances and a lot of layers to understanding things, and essentially what happened, what Jason's talking about is there was a young lady, I believe she was in her early 20s, who was killed by this morality police entity, I guess very hardcore fundamentalist Muslim entity, like a police force. They killed this young lady because she was not displaying or wearing her hijab, which is the traditional head covering for the females. So, and so in the aftermath of this, killing of this young lady, there's been, it's spread. There's been, of course, there was many demonstrations and pushback and outcry from a lot of, students and, attorneys and people in the legal world, but, intellectual world. And so but now it's gotten to the point where all these people, there's been like all this list of names, and they're talking about giving all these people the death sentence. So anyway, I'm going to share let you watch Jason talk about it. I'll share the video link in this video description. But essentially, Jason is talking about, getting people talking about this, and I think it's healthy for people to begin to look at this as a planet and not be further, imprisoned in these ideas of national war. No, we're all, one human light family of light. So hit that subscribe button. Jason Shurka, leave this video a thumbs up if you see it. Also, please let me know if that's your book. It's great. I'm going to read it, and passing along the message. We must all sort of come together. There's many forms of tyranny and third dimensional, things that are still happening, and then so this is one took place. Who's to say that next, that here in the state of Texas, that I may not be singled out for talking about chakras and talking about extraterrestrials. Like there may be some sort of fundamentalist Protestant wave of Christian fundamentalism, and I may be singled out, but they won't get me. They won't. Anyway, I don't get into all that tough guy stuff, but hit the subscribe button, leave this video a thumbs up, and stay tuned for further video offerings and information disseminations from the Aumbonda New Earth Ashram for compassion, strength, and worldwide light gnosis.
Namaste. Namaskaram.
They won't get me. Not up in here. Woo!